Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and welcome back to another Chicago Bears weekly preview. I'm going to do these before every Bears game this season, and as well as Bears reactions after every Bears game this year. And today, we're going to review the Bears Week 2 matchup, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. So if you guys want to see more reviews and more content like this, make sure you click the subscribe button, and leave this video a like as well. Those both help. But nonetheless, without further ado, let's dive into it. First thing we're going to discuss is the Bears offense coming off of, let's just face it was a struggle fest against the Green Bay Packers versus a Buccaneers defense. Even though Justin Jefferson from the Vikings had a big day against them, they still found ways to create turnovers and end up pulling off, I don't want to say upset, because this Buccaneers team, defensively especially, is still a very good unit. And the Bears, let's just face it, it looked terrible from play calling wise, schematic wise, the whole 9 yards against the Green Bay Packers. And coming into this week, what the Bears need to do is attack more down the field. We all know about the whole Chase Claypool thing. He didn't play necessarily with any effort at all. DJ Moore only got 2 targets. Darnell Mooney had a couple of catches, including a touchdown catch. Justin Fields, I mean, he didn't have the greatest of days, but he didn't have a bad day. But the point is that schematically, things have to change going into this ball game, especially attacking more down the field and giving that as a threat to this Buccaneers defense led by Todd Bowles as the head coach, who likes to send blitz packages. And if you guys watched the game last week, which I'm assuming you did, the Bears offensive line did not do anything well as far as pass protection. And with the blitzing defense that they have, with a guy like Vita Vea as that nose tackle, who not only can do things against the run, but he can pressure up the middle. Then you have Shaq, Barrett, Levante David, Devin White on a very good defense. In the back end, Jamel Dean is a very solid corner. Carlton Davis is questionable for this game, but all signs are looking like he's going to play. Antoine Winfield Jr. is another very good piece in this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. So this Buccaneers defense going up against this Bears offense, let's just face it, going off of what we seen last week, this Bears offense has their hands full. Now, of course, running the football has been key to this Luke Getsy offense, but you have to be so much more dynamic in your play calling and the way that you're going to scheme up this offense to attack a Buccaneers defense that likes to blitz. So that is going to leave some open holes in linebacker position and the secondary as well, and you're going to have to exploit that so you can kind of offset some of those blitz packages. I hated the fact that they called so many screens last week. I really did. The screen game can be effective if you have a down the field threat, if the running game is somewhat successful and is somewhat productive, then the screen game will start to take a little bit more effect against a defense like this versus what they did last week, which is not attacking down the field. We're not attacking the middle of the zone defense and not attacking some of those holes that were left by the Green Bay Packers defense. And there's going to be holes left by the Buccaneers defense because we all know Todd Bowles that really loves to bring the house. So the Bears are going to have to make a ton of adjustments as far as trying to push the ball down the field more, trying to attack this Buccaneers defense more in order to have a more successful game than what we saw against the Green Bay Packers in week 1. And this Buccaneers defense is coming off of a game where Justin Jefferson, like I said, he had a very good game against them, but especially in the first half, I think the thing that the Buccaneers have advantage of over the Bears is adjustments. And Buccaneers made some adjustments, and they were able to slow things down for the Minnesota Vikings in the second half and create turnovers. One thing the Bears are going to have to do, of course, is take care of the football. Fields is going to have to get that fumbling problem together. Now, we all know the pick six. He has to get that corrected as well. You have to take care of the football against a defense like this that can bring the house and can take away the football from you, because the Buccaneers defense, like I said, is nothing to slouch on, and the Bears have to make these adjustments, even with the offensive line pretty much fully intact outside of Jenkins, of course. They are going to have to find ways to get some continuity and pick up some of those blitz packages that a guy like Todd Bowles likes to bring. You're going to have to find ways to pass off blocks, read what blitzer is coming, be able to spot it, locate it, and block it and protect Justin Fields. And the ability of Justin Fields moving around, that is always going to be a factor going into this ball game. Some of the RPOs that you can do. I would like to see more bootlegs from this Bears offense because you didn't see too many of them last week. You have to move the pocket. The Bears have to move the pocket in a ball game like this, against a defense like this. You have to move the pocket, especially when you see an offensive line struggling. You have to move the pocket in order to have more successful and more dynamic things you can throw at a defense. You have to do that. Let's go into this Buccaneers offense led by Baker Mayfield, going against the Bears defense, who was coming into this game shorthanded, with Khalil Gordon now going on IR with a broken hand, which means the Bears are going to have to make some adjustments in their secondary. Josh Blackwell's probably have to see more of a role if he plays. He's questionable. At the time of me recording this video, you have a guy like Terrell Smith, a young player, who is probably going to have to see more. We know Tyreek Stevenson is going to see more time. So you're going to have to get that nickelback thing situated, especially with the guy like Khalil Gordon out for at least the next 4 weeks. I think Khalil Gordon was going to have I'm not going to say a breakout season, but take a next step and be more productive. And it's just sad that he has to go out with a broken hand. And on top of that, you're going up against the receiving core, and I believe one of the most underrated receivers that we have in football in Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who is a very good receiver in his own right. Going up against Baker Mayfield, the Moxie, some of the things that he can do as well. The Bears have to put pressure on this quarterback. They have to put pressure on the quarterback. Tristan Wirfs is solid, but I believe this offensive line is not necessarily the greatest. They drafted Cody Monk to help with that offensive line. I personally believe that the Bears must blitz, because we have seen that they didn't get home with the front four last week. You have to make some adjustments and at least throw some blitz packages, because you cannot allow Baker Mayfield to stay in the pocket all day. With the receiving core that they have, with the short-handed guy and Khalil Gordon being out, you're going to have to make some adjustments and bring some blitzes. Now, I'm not going to say bring the house, but you're going to have to blitz, I believe, a little bit more in this ball game to have some success and to give the Buccaneers offensive line some different looks and give Baker Mayfield some different looks at a defense, because they sat too much in zone. And with receivers like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, K. Otten at the tight end position, who is, I think, a solid tight end in his own right, you are going to have to play. I think they need to play more man-to-man, in my opinion, because we all seen, even Jordan Love tore up a zone defense. The problem I have with the zone defense, with some teams running it, is they run it too much without blitzing, and that is exactly what the Bears do. I don't think the Bears have the personnel to really execute the zone defense without a blitz. I think you're going to have to blitz. I want to see more from Pickens. I want to see more from Dexter. I want to see more from the interior of the Bears front. I want to see more from the front four, period. When we watched the game, did we hear much about DeMarcus Walker? Not really. Yannick Ngakoue had a sack and stuff in the backfield. That's it. You're going to have to get more out of your front four. The Bears are going to get more out of their front four. Edmunds had some solid plays. Edwards had some solid plays. Sanborn looked a little lost. We had a guy like Eddie Jackson look a little lost. And you cannot do that against the receiving core of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And the Buccaneers running game with Rashad White, who I think can have some really good moments against the Bears defense that struggles to stop the run. So in this game, you're going to have to be better against the run, even though I think the passing game is probably the strength of this Buccaneers offense. Even though Baker Mayfield didn't have the greatest of days against the Vikings, he did enough to win that ball game. You're going to have to get these receivers covered, because they can change games with Evans and Godwin. Jalen Johnson, you're going to have to be better at man. I think you're going to have to play more man. And a guy like Tyreek Stevenson, even though he can get beat, he's going to have to stay solid as well. Eddie Jackson has to play a lot better, because he didn't play well at all last week. So I think the Bears defense have their hands full going up against us receiving core, offensive line, who I think is better than what they were last year, and a quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Even though it's not Brady, he can still beat you if he's given time and if he's given the opportunity to beat you. So the Bears are going to have to be a lot better on both phases of the football if they want to come out with this win. But with all that said, my pick for this ball game will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard for me to pick the Bears, especially you're on an 11-game losing streak. And last week, the problems that we thought we solved with the moves that we made, nothing changed. Offense didn't push the ball down the field. Run defense still sucks. Offensive line protection still sucks. Justin Fields is going to get killed behind this. And until I see adjustments, I cannot pick them. And I think the Buccaneers are going to win a score of 24-14. I don't think the Bears are going to score enough points basing how they look. I don't think the Bears defense is going to be able to slow down the run and slow down those receivers in that zone coverage if they do not blitz. So until I see anything adjustment-wise, I'm not picking the Bears. That's just let it as it is now. And until I see it physically with my own two eyes, with the adjustments and different things that you can throw at a defense as far as the Bears offense going, Lugetti, and the way they can bring up blitz packages, I'm sorry. I'm not picking the Bears. Buccaneers win this game 24-14. That's all I've got. You guys' thoughts on this game on the comment down below. Do you think the Bears can pull off the win, or do you think it will be more of the same? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I am APWSPORTS signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.